Good morning. Kathy Knowles here from Soulful Business Connection, and I'm excited to be with you today. And what I really wanted to talk about is our inner critic. We have so much power within ourselves to create, and everything in our lives is created twice. First in our minds, our thoughts, and then in reality. If you think about how powerful that is, everything being created twice, think about the first car that was created. Think about Steve Jobs with the iPhone. First, it was created in his mind, in his thoughts, and then he created it in his reality. That's why our critic within our head is so important for us to acknowledge and not ignore. We love to ignore it because we really don't know what to do with it. But the moment we acknowledge it and allow it to be something that it really is, instead of this ongoing recording that just runs and runs in our mind, is the moment we can make changes and do something about it. There's a beautiful book written by Michael Singer called The Untethered Soul. And the very first chapter, he starts out by saying, if you had a roommate that treated you the way your mind constantly treats you, that roommate would be out of your home in a matter of days because you wouldn't tolerate it in real life. But yet, we tolerate it over and over again within ourselves in our own mind. So I wanted to give you a few tips today on how you can quiet or calm your inner critic. And the first thing is really being aware of it. So often we hear it and it's just in our heads, it's in our head. So over and over and over again, we hear the same thing. We're not good enough. I shouldn't have said that. I should do this. Why can't I do this? What's wrong with me? Why can't I lose weight? Why can't I find a significant other? What's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. I'm not worthy. And it goes on and on and on. So once we're really aware of it, we need to really check in and catch what it's saying. What is your inner critic really saying? And why? Who does it remind you of? Is it yours or someone else's? Does it belong to your parents? Does it belong to your spouse? Does it belong to your best friend? Does it belong to an elementary school teacher? Does it really even belong to you? Is it really even part of your truth? Or is it something you allowed it to be? And then replace that with words of self-love. Tell yourself you love yourself. Have you ever tried to look in the mirror and to say, I love you? It's not necessarily comfortable. But when all of a sudden you start paying attention to the things that you do right, the way you show up for other people, the way you show up for yourself, the way you speak your authentic truth, when you start to replace the inner critic with those positives, beautiful, beautiful things happen because the inner critic starts to silence. Then all of a sudden you can imagine yourself turning down the dial of that radio station, or you can imagine yourself kicking that roommate out of your home. So really learn to appreciate who you are, to know that there's beauty within inside of yourself. Allow yourself to feel your emotions. Don't run from them, feel them. Because when you feel them, the emotions start to become less hot. They start to become less meaningful because now you're not afraid to feel them anymore. And when all of that happens, the inner critic slows down. It's amazing. But we have to do the work, and it's hard work. This isn't easy. It sounds easy as I sit here and say it, but I've done it. And it feels like we're going into the darkest depths of ourselves, and no one else could possibly be like us, right? Because we're all so special. Well, the reality is everyone's like us. We're all similar. Universal law number one is oneness. So we've all gone through it in one way or another. Now it's just a matter of acknowledging it and starting to really love ourselves and being really mindful of what this inner critic is saying and who it belongs to. Because if it doesn't belong to you, you need to kick it to the curb. So I enjoyed spending time with you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.